Hey YouTube, thank you for tuning in to Carol's Daily Sauce. So today, y'all, forgive me. always touching up in the hair, touching up in a bun, touching up in something. Anyway, got my hair done up in a doofunkle, but thank you so much for tuning in to Carol's Daily Sauce. Today what I'm going to be discussing with you all is the Leaving Netherland 1 and 2. However, I will not be discussing the entire documentary, as if you tune in, sit down, get yourself a cup of tea, or maybe get yourself some little popcorn for some munchies. If you go ahead and do that and come back, we're going to get into it. I'm going to share with you some of the things that I found out in my research, I guess you could call it, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, so I am back, and I just want to tell you guys this right here, when I tell you that this right here is something that, oh, it's just a lot. The Leaving Netherland 1 and 2 is just a lot. So much so, I couldn't even look at the entire documentary. I believe I may have only gotten through probably less than 30 minutes of it, because it was just straight up disgusting. It was straight up disgusting, the accusations and the things that they said that Michael Jackson done. Now, I must be very honest with you. I, being a survivor of sexual abuse as a child, I believe exactly what Wade and James said. I believe everything that they said to be true. However, I do believe that Wade and James' parents are to blame. And the reason I say that they're to blame is because a child that is underage should never be in the bed with someone who is an adult. Now, it's a different story if you have, I know back in the day, you know, we had not mother-in-laws, bless my mother-in-law. Back in the day, we had godparents. And, you know, maybe there were times when maybe you was sleeping in the bed with your godparent, or whatever the case may be. But if something ever went out of whack or whatever, you were probably willing to tell your parent. The problem with this situation with Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson had the charisma to grasp people in general, adults, teenagers, even young children. Wade and James were under 10 years old, both of them. I mean, I believe one of them said he was really young. Oh, really quick before I go into any further, these earrings are a little bit different than things that I normally wear because they are huge. However, I do love Afrocentric. I'm going to get really close so you guys can see my girlfriend right here with her cornrows and her big poof puff. She is too cute. This is a gift from my very dear sister in Christ, Andrea. Thank you so much. I love you, Andrea. So I just wanted to give a shout out to her for my earrings. But back to this Michael Jackson thing. He really did some things that were really gross. This documentary was very descriptive, and I think that's part of the reason why I couldn't go along with it. Wade is one of the guys who was allegedly sexually abused. And I say allegedly because I wasn't there. However, I do believe that he and James were sexually abused. I believe they were. They were young children. Their parents were fascinated, my opinion, with the fact that Michael Jackson, a mega pop star, was interested in their children. I remember hearing on the TV that one of the parents, I believe it was James's mother, was so fascinated with the fact that Michael Jackson wanted to have her son be in a commercial. She was absolutely fascinated. I think she said I can't even remember the word that she said, but she was just blown away. And they were treated like royalty when they traveled with him. They were always put up in the best suites, not hotels, in the best suites. But what happened is, in the beginning, when they were put in these suites, when Michael Jackson flew them out for the children to participate either in videos or to participate with him on stage, they brung the whole family out. And when I say they, I mean Michael Jackson's the people that work for them, brung the whole family. And when they brung the whole family, what they ended up doing is treating them really, really well. They ate at the best restaurants. They stayed at the best hotels that had suites. But in the beginning, the parents, Michael and their son stayed with the parents. But after he started working, he, meaning Michael Jackson, started working with the young men, the what am I trying to say? The suites were further away. So he would gain, he being Michael Jackson, would gain the trust of the parents, and then he would ask if the kids can stay overnight, if they could stay and sleep overnight. And that is when they were molested. Nasty. So anyway, another thing that I do want to say is I think it's very, very wrong. I think it's very wrong that the persons who wrote this will come out with this. I honestly feel like Michael Jackson has no voice. I feel like, and personally believe, that this is a very disrespectful type of documentary. But I also believe that for James as well as Wade, this may be their way of working through their pain, because having been, as I said before, sexually violated myself as a young child, I know the fear that they have experienced. I believe that Michael Jackson played on the minds of these young people as well as other young people, because he had numerous people who he paid off. I would call it hush money. He ended up paying them hush money so that he wouldn't be exposed any further. He even told both James and Wade that they were supposed to keep it hush, that if they were to get found out, that the situation would cause him, meaning Michael Jackson, as well as them, to go to jail, that they'd be in jail for the rest of their life. So he produced a fear in the young people, but asked them to do all kinds of acts, asked them to do all types of sexual acts and things like that. And when he preyed on them, and I do not mean P-R-A-Y-E-D, I mean P-R-E-Y-E-D, when he preyed on those children, he almost tried to inflict a sense of fear within them so that they would be just too scared to even expose, to even tell it. Both James as well as Wade even said that they experienced feelings of being in love with Michael Jackson, and both of them questioned their sexuality as a result of the allegations that are being placed against Michael Jackson. Michael trained his abusers really, really well, telling them, like I said, if people found out, that they would go to jail for the rest of their life. But I just can't believe that. Yes, I can. I can believe that a grown man would do that, because they do. Wade feels very, very guilty. He feels very, very guilty having not testified in the case the last time. But he believes that coming out now will be an opportunity to make better what he had an opportunity to do, but he didn't do it because he had and felt an obligation to Michael Jackson. In 2005, Wade actually testified in the indictment case against Michael Jackson, where someone was suing him, and they said that Wade's testimony weighed very heavily in Michael Jackson being acquitted. This is why it is very important to teach our children that when someone touches you under your clothes, it is not right, in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. It isn't normal, and you won't go to jail. The child will not go to jail for exposing this information. Now, as far as Michael Jackson's children, I feel extremely sorry for them. And the reason I feel so sorry for them is because here it is, their father is deceased. They have to carry the burden of what people said he allegedly did. Paris Jackson had a suicide attempt after this came out. And that is so, so sad, because why do they have to carry what he did? Why do they have to carry the pain of people talking about their father and calling him a child molester, which I think he is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it by no means. People honestly feel that Wade and James are just opportunists. They're opportunists because they feel like they're lying so that they can get money from the estate, from the NeverLand estate. My question to anybody who says that is, were you there? Were you there? Do you know whether or not they were molested? Were you there? I believe that he did. I believe that they were molested. Do you know what it feels like to be molested? It feels horrible for someone to not believe you. These men have had struggles, as I said before, with their sexuality. They feel a very strong pull on each of them to come truthful about what actually did happen, even though in the past, such as Wade, they lied. The lawsuit that they have in courts right now is not a lawsuit, and this is what they say, it's not a lawsuit for money. It's more of a lawsuit of fighting back. It's not a win or lose situation. What matters is fighting back. And this fighting back is for their healing. Wade has had 2 nervous breakdowns as a result of the abuse, and he's kept silent with this molestation and had it buried and stuck in his little body, because he's very thin, for 22 years. They want to help others. Both have filed the lawsuits. And as I said, as a survivor, if you have been molested, tell. If you are being molested, tell. I don't care what anybody tells you about being killed, about killing your family. They're actually just telling you that to scare you. If you are in a situation, you need to tell. This is not something that's normal. It's not love. A man or a woman can do it. A teenager can do it. A boy or a girl can do it. But it is not something that is acceptable. It is actually a crime, and people can be arrested for it. So if you are in a situation where someone touches you as a child and you are feeling uncomfortable, you need to make sure to let someone know so that you can be protected, because you deserve to be protected. Well, that's it for Carol's Daily Sauce. Just a little tidbit, little chit chat on the Michael Jackson Leaving Neverland. I'll never watch it again. It was absolutely, positively one of the most disgusting documentaries that I have ever attempted to look at in my life. And the crazy thing about it is I am a Jackson. I actually was born a Jackson. When I was about maybe 6 or 7 years old, I wrote a letter to Michael Jackson and said that we could get married because my name was already Jackson and I wouldn't have to change my name. But at that time, I had no idea that he had issues, and I don't think he did, because that was very, very early on. I believe that he was abused. Do I believe that he was sexually abused? I have no idea, but I do believe that he was physically abused by his father. As a result of his pain, he tried to construct and reconstruct his whole entire face because he didn't like himself. But when we are molested, it isn't an opportunity to molest somebody else and make the situation worse for other people. It is more important to go and get yourself some help. I just have a really hard time believing or understanding why, if a person was molested, why they would want to molest somebody else. To me, that's the most stupidest, unthought about situation ever, and I don't understand it personally. But I pray that God will continue to cover and keep both James and Wade, as well as anybody else that might be suffering and dealing with this situation. And I firmly believe, if found guilty as far as whether or not he did it, I believe that they should be compensated monetarily. And if it comes to taking some of the rights and the monies from his children, I believe they should be compensated. It may not bring back the feelings that they lost being molested as children. It may not bring back those feelings, but I tell you one thing it will bring back. It'll send a message that it's not acceptable to touch on children. There are far too many grown people in this world for grown people to be touching on children. You guys, this is so off the subject, but you know what? I just want to tell you guys, my eyebrows are not twins. They are sisters. Thank you, beloveds. Beloved said that the other day, and I thought that was the cutest thing. And I never can get mine the same way. Look, they are not twins. They are definitely sisters. But just wanted to touch bases with you guys about the Leaving Neverland. I think it is absolutely one of the craziest documentaries. Very, 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 very disgusting. Never wanted to see it again. And anybody that was able to sit and watch it, you darn good, because I couldn't. Well, that's been it for Carol's Daily Sauce. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, and share. And don't forget to click on the bell to be reminded of each and every video that I upload. God bless you. I'll talk to you all real soon. Mwah.